A federal judge has blocked US President Donald Trump's executive order aimed at ending birthright citizenship for children born to foreign nationals in the United States. Now, during a hearing in Seattle, a US district judge issued a temporary restraining order halting the president's plan. The judge, appointed by President Ronald Reagan, called the executive order blatantly unconstitutional, and he expressed surprise that the Trump administration found lawyers to defend it, given the long-standing Supreme Court precedent that grants citizenship to nearly all children born on US soil under the 14th Amendment. Now, this decision comes after 22 states filed lawsuits challenging the order, arguing that it violates the Constitution. And in his remarks, the judge also noted that the legal grounds were clear and said the order boggles the mind. Well, for further clarity, we have with us legal expert from Boston, Allison Kranz. Also with us on the broadcast at the moment, Cheryl Bader, who's the Associate Professor of Law from Fordham University School. Thank you so much for joining us on NDTV. Allison, to you first. The judge has called the executive order blatantly unconstitutional, but given the history of the birthright citizenship and the 14th Amendment, what specific legal principles make this order so problematic?
Oh, there's a variety of different principles. For example, even the plain language of the statement itself, the 14th Amendment, clearly demonstrates an intent to include everyone born in the United States to be a citizen. But not just that, we have a variety of different rulings that the Supreme Court has held up since this constitutional amendment was added to the Constitution. Not only that, as part of the hearing today, what was actually very interesting is the judge asked, because what's at issue is the language of whether someone is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, and asked if these people were not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, would they be able to be criminally prosecuted? And of course, the White House attorneys conceded, yes, they could be.
In fact, many people are arguing that this is a direct curtailment of their rights. Cheryl Bader, let's get you in here as well. What's your take on the judge's statement that this order boggles the mind? Some actually argue that the legal arguments behind this executive order are more politically driven than legally sound.
Absolutely. I think Trump is trying to make good on some promises he made in the campaign, and I'm not even sure that his legal team thought that this would have any weight with the judge. As was mentioned, the birthright citizenship is enshrined in the Constitution itself. You can't amend the Constitution by executive order. It would need 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the state to ratify any amendment. And the Trump supporters' argument that people who have immigrated here and have had children here, that they are not subject to the jurisdiction, makes no sense at all, right? They're supposed to pay taxes. They're supposed to follow the laws. This is that language was because if there are people who are here as ambassadors, they are not subject to the same laws and jurisdiction, and that was the carve out, but it has nothing to do with people who have immigrated here.
Right. Allison, now with 22 states involved in this lawsuit against Trump's executive order, how do you see this evolving? Could a legal battle of this scale potentially reach the Supreme Court?
I think absolutely it will. So there's a temporary block for the next 14 days. After that period of 14 days, the judge will review legal briefs that have been submitted by both sides and decide whether there will be an injunction that will permanently block the order until it gets to the next level of courts, the Court of Appeals. From there, if it gets to the Court of Appeals, the issue could be shut down and ended there. But this is an issue that's important to the American people, and I do predict that it will go to the Supreme Court.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for making time for us on NDTV and joining us. We will, of course, revert you for regular updates.